Stanley Kubrick, through the character of Jack Torrance, is introduced to the project of faking the Apollo 11 mission to the moon by the NASA elite. He is shocked. As he sees the project right before his eyes, the seduction begins. The project draws closer and closer to him, and he draws closer and closer to it. The project begins to embrace his mind. He begins to embrace it. Completely seduced by the project, he fully embraces it. He will fake the Apollo 11 mission to the moon. The horror of what he has perpetrated for NASA and upon the world grabs hold of him. He escapes. Wendy and Danny are watching TV. But there is one problem. Can you see what it is? The TV set is not plugged in. What's going on here? Let's take a close look at this room. The window in back of the TV forms the number 11. This refers to the Apollo 11 mission. You cannot see images on a TV set that is not plugged in, so the images are not real. With the unplugged TV set in front of the number 11, Kubrick is telling us the images we saw on TV from Apollo 11 on the moon were not real images from the moon. One more thing about those images on the TV set. The film on the TV set is Summer of 42. The title of the film has 11 characters in it, another reference to Apollo 11. Just one more thing. The winter outside. The winter represents the Cold War. Project Apollo took place during the Cold War conflict between the USA and the Soviet Union. This is the typewriter Jack Torrance, Stanley Kubrick, is typing on. The name of the typewriter is Adler. The word Adler is German for eagle. Notice the color of the typewriter. It is a cream color. Now pay close attention. The color of the typewriter begins to change color as the movie goes along. It becomes darker gray in color. Why? Ron Punter, a scenic artist on The Shining, was told by Kubrick to repaint the typewriter a shade of gray during production. During the film, you see it transform from cream to gray. The Adler Eagle typewriter is completely gray. The Adler Eagle typewriter is completely gray. Why did Kubrick do this? Adler is the German word for eagle. The name of the Apollo 11 lunar lander is Eagle. The color of the surface on the moon is the color gray. There are two columns, one on each side of the staircase. The columns form the number 11, representing the Apollo 11 mission. 11's on the left side and right side upstairs. Working between the two columns is Jack Torrance, representing director Stanley Kubrick. He is sitting between the number 11 columns as he is the man in the middle of the Apollo 11 mission moon hoax. The images above the fireplace are Indian totems. Kubrick chose them because they give the appearance of rockets blasting off. Wendy, representing Christiana Kubrick, discovers what her husband has been working on. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. What does it mean? All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Apollo 11 work and no play makes Stanley Kubrick dull. The Golden Ray Box. The word ray is Spanish. Translated into English, it means king. The Golden King is the king of the sun, or in other words, the Greek-Roman god Apollo. Apollo is also the name of the NASA space program. The Apollo insignia shows the face of the sun god, Apollo. The Apollo 11 spacecraft was launched on July 16, 1969 from Kennedy Space Center, Launch Complex 39. The launch pad was 39A. Tang accompanied the astronauts on the Gemini space flights and all U.S. space flights through to Apollo.
Good morning, parental units.
Dawn greetings, young one.
What would you like for consumables? Pop-Tarts, chicken embryos, seasoned patties of ground animal flesh?
I'm not really hungry. Just some Tang.
Ah, Tang, the drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
Apollo 11 launched from the Kennedy Space Center, Launch Complex 39. Launch pad was 39A.